Hello there. Some people thought when I was in Florida like a week and a half ago that I was depressed. Everybody said, "You look down." It's like, no, I just did a whole lot of yard work and was sunburned and I was completely exhausted. I had a lot of people in the recent video called What's Going On tell me that they're down, depressed, and their friends and their neighbors and whatnot, they're like acting weird. I've had a lot of people tell me that, and they just tell me that, and I know because I feel like I'm working twice as hard for half as much money. On the YouTube side of things, my income is down drastically. People say, "Why aren't you talking about photography gear as much?" Like, well, nothing right now in the photography world is going on, and I've looked at, even though I don't like to look at, other videos on channels on YouTube on photography. Their views are way down. Even one big YouTuber made a video about it like a month and a half ago. I was like, wow. Is that there's two, of course, arenas of photography, are those that are working photographers, that do weddings and events and whatnot. Of course, wedding photography is basically all kaput because what's going on in the world. Event photography is essentially kaput. Product photography and business and commercial are still way up. And I keep telling people that, and some people do listen, and they're like, "You're right, it is." But the only reason I haven't been making a bunch of photography videos lately is because I found that other channels, people don't like it. I mean, the big channels, you know who they are, I won't name them, their viewership is way down and they're getting tons of downvotes. People don't like when everybody else is suffering, which I know they are, so apparently I'm in tap with what people are, maybe it's because I read the comments and I have a mind on my shoulders. People don't like, "Hey, this is the latest piece of expensive camera gear. I think you should buy it even though you lost your job and you're suffering." People seem to not like that, and for pretty obvious reasons. To get just a couple suggestions, since this video is about eliminating out fear. Don't cave to fear. I mean, there's a lot of suggestions. I mean, you have it better than I do, a lot of you do, because I don't have any brothers or sisters, and I don't have anybody that I hang out with. You have a social network, and I don't know if you like hang out in other people's houses or you go to bars or whatever it is you do. I don't drink, and I certainly don't go to bars, but you have these things. I mean, you should be taking advantage of them. I don't have that. I'm coping perfectly fine, but I've been solitary most of my life. I had a wife, but she's dead of cancer. But don't watch the news, whatever you do. And I'm not telling people not to be informed. There's a couple people out there that still have a mind on their shoulder, and one guy has a YouTube channel. I don't agree with everything he says. Nobody agrees with everything anybody else says either. Like, I 100% agree with this person. Nobody kind of does that with anybody else. But John Stossel has a YouTube channel. I mean, he's a good reporter. He has a mind on his shoulders. He's not, hardcore one way or the other. So there's John Stossel, and I don't claim him to be perfect, but I mean, don't watch the news. Never watch commercials. And if you go on Instagram, I kind of jokingly look at Instagram, all the hot and beautiful people pretending to be living the high life, and 90% of it is just fake as heck. When you watch these commercials, these people, all they do is try to make you feel depressed about the way you're like, well, you're inferior because you don't look this way, or you didn't buy XYZ product, or you're not driving the latest Bentley car. All these commercials do is to psychologically brainwash you into buying garbage you don't need, to pretend to be happier than you are. I know some really, really rich people. They got a crap load of money. They're miserable as hell. I'm not saying that money makes you miserable, but it gives you a lot more worries, I've seen from them. And I wished I had more, just so I could take a vacation. I'm not trying to get rich at all. I just wish the hell I could take a vacation and not work 7 days a week. But working is good for you, and I like building and making things. I'm going to be busy all weekend building and making stuff. While everything is going on crazy in the world, try to develop a skill set that you love and start making money at it. Yeah, but never ever watch commercials. If you're going to watch TV, which is all I do, I listen to classical music most of the time, is only watch DIY shows where like people are building things or fixing things, or really cool documentaries, or comedy. Comedy raises the soul. It certainly does. I mean, That's all true TV should be about. Kind of back in the day, that's the way it was. Um, People watch comedy shows like Andy Griffith or I Love Lucy, and of course there are different comedy shows now. That's even before my time, but I mean, of course, I've seen those all too. But don't watch commercials and don't watch the news. Make you feel bad. It's good to be educated and know, and I keep my head on a swivel, know what's going on around you, but don't watch these fear mongers. Get out in nature. Get out in nature, excuse me. Um, get out as often as I can. I'm so busy all the time, sometimes it's hard. Get out in nature, roll in the dirt. Get sunlight. When it gets a lot hotter, my farm has these deep pools. Well, not deep, like 8 feet, 9 feet. Really beautiful, though. I'm going to slip on the swimming trunks, kind of like an episode from Little House on the Prairie, and jump in the swimming hole. That really invigorates you. It's good for you. I think a lot of people lead sterilized lives now. They have hand wipes everywhere and they don't like dirt. Human beings are meant to go out and get dirty. Don't take that too literally. Get out in nature. All these people are pushing fear control. There's just, someone told me this and it's so funny, like that little teenage girl from Sweden preaching doom and gloom. How dare you? Someone called her a doom goblin. Let me repeat that. Doom goblin. There's a whole lot of doom goblins in the world right now trying to preach fear. Fear is control. When these power mad people make you live in fear, they know you'll relinquish your freedoms, and that's what it's all about. It's their power trip. When they make the people fear, then the people will relinquish their control. Don't let these people fear-monger yourself. Always be safe, but don't live in fear. Because you're not going to make it out of this life alive. Let me repeat that. You're not going to make it out of this life alive. That doesn't mean you should live carelessly, and hopscotch, in the middle of a freeway. Don't live your life dangerously. The most important thing anybody should learn, and you weren't taught this in high school or college, and neither was I, is that you should build your skills, because skills are real currency. You could lose everything tomorrow, but if you have skills to know how to fix things and build things and make things, that is real money. And develop your skill set in this time where seemingly everybody is suffering. Invest in your own freedom. The biggest form of freedom and independence to me is land. It's real money. It also feeds you and can clothe you and keep you warm in the wintertime with the wood that's on your... I got so much firewood. If I had 6 lifetimes, I've got so much wood on my land. That sounds wrong a little bit. I got a lot of lumber, firewood on the land, to burn in the wood-burning stove. You have a wood-burning stove and a little cabin, which I do, and a bunch of trees that cooks your food, it keeps you warm, it does a lot of stuff. People think, well, that's primitive, I like my air conditioning and my lighting. Well, I have solar panels. Everybody should be, if they're going to learn any lesson from what's going on, is don't let these fear-mongers control you, and try to lead as most of an independent life as possible. Dependency is suffering. It always is. When you're dependent upon someone else or something else, get out and see your friends. I guarantee you 100% of you have a social network of some kind, which I don't have. I have this to talk to people, but I don't meet or see people regularly at all, really. You probably have brothers and sisters and friends. Get together, develop skills, start making an online business, maybe, like building stuff and selling stuff. At least at the very minimum, develop your skills. Most of my life, I've tried to diversify my skills, learning various languages. I translate books. I have a lot of knowledge on various things. And, I can make things. I got over here, I got $7,000 of leather sewing machines. I can make things that people want to buy, that pays the bills. It's hard work and it makes my hands cramp up, cutting leather and, cutting stuff out and gluing and the sewing. But there's an innate pride in making something that's beautiful that other people want to buy. There's an innate pride in that that's really good. Yeah, but don't watch news and don't watch these silly nonsenses that make you feel bad about what you own or what you look like. And don't buy into that stuff. I just keep seeing all these people in comments saying, how down and depressed they are, and I know why. I mean, they give reasons why, but don't let these fear mongers get you down. All they're trying to do is drag you down and trying to have control over you. Don't give it to them. Don't give up any of your life to these people because they're nefarious and evil. Don't cave into evil and don't listen to other people. The only people that have your best interests in mind are your close family members and your friends. Those are the only people that really care about you or give a darn about you. Why are you listening to these anonymous talking head fools on the idiot box? I call it the idiot box. Don't listen to them. Don't listen to these people. Lead a clean, simple life and don't listen to the trash. God, everybody should be doing. That's why these people are depressed, is because they're letting these fools that they'll never ever meet or ever see and don't know who they are manipulate and control them and try to oppress them. Don't give in. Strength and freedom and independence is what will drag you out of that. And strengthen your immediate social network of people that you physically see, physically talk and meet with. And develop your skills. I don't want to see people, down and out. I see these. I mean, it's an abuse of these little rugrats. I see what people are doing today to them. I see little 2-year-olds, in the grocery store like this. Like, oh my God! You talk about traumatizing these little poor little kids. It's just absolutely horrible. The next generation is going to have so many psychological issues, it'll be off the hook. Stop letting people ruin your lives. Don't let other people ruin your life. Stand up to them. Ignore them. The easiest thing to do is completely ignore them. Lead a clean, simple life. Get out in nature. Suck up some sunlight. Do what I'm going to do when it gets warmer and jump in the swimming hole. Get dirty, roll around in the dirt, go maybe dig up worms and go fishing. I don't like fish myself, but get the heck out in nature. That's the reason why I sold all the superfluous stuff I don't need. I was like, I could have that superfluous stuff collecting dust in the back room, or I could buy a farm. I sold it and I bought a farm and a cabin in the woods. And couldn't be happier about it. Thanks for watching. I hope you lead a happy life that's free of fear and not full of depression and misery and whatnot. We all stress out about the bills. It's pathetic. Existential life is suffering by its very definition and nature, but we don't have to let others bring us down like that. People try to bring me down all the time. All I get is, I get tons and tons of nasty comments and emails from people. Percentage-wise, it's not that great, but it's significant. I don't care what they say, Who am I to care what they think? Why on earth should I care what they think? I give stuff out for free. I lead a simple life. I don't have nefarious designs on people or things. Just keep it simple. What I'm going to be doing all weekend, since it's rainy and cold and miserable out, I'm going to be making alligator wallets. I'm going to be doing that all weekend. And I'm thankful for the fact that I tried to develop and did develop my skills on making stuff like that. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a great weekend.